Well,
I feel okay. So I think, Rocco, I feel like you kind of get sick sometimes.
Both stands. Both stands.
My question was going to be, what's the sickest you've ever been? But then in my mind, I was thinking, well, I bet Rocco will have the ultimate answer because I feel like, I don't know, but maybe you just vocalize, like you tell people when you.
Well, I did. I think just the way that my day to day, like I push it a lot. Like I won't like sleep a ton and stuff like that, and I don't get I don't get sick like often. But when I do, I go hard. Kind of. But I would say the sickest I've ever been. You know, it was like early 2011. I caught something, and it was. Do you ever get so sick that you have the thought of it'd be easier to die?
Yeah, I've had that.
Like, man, early 2011, there was like 2 weeks I just couldn't get up.
I've never hit that level. I have hit the level.
Yeah, you don't get sick very much.
I've hit the level of sickness where I would, where I think dying would suck. You know, where like I'm so. You go through your life and you're healthy and things are good and you just don't think about that, and then you get really sick and you go, oh, the human body is fragile. Life, it could be robbed from you at any moment. You know, I've hit that level of sickness where you just become aware of like, oh shit, the body could experience fucking miserable shit sometimes.
Yeah.
But I've never just been like, I can't go through this anymore.
Yeah.
Just take me now.
I don't remember what it was. It was, there was some horrible flu going around early 2011 and I didn't move for.
Was that swine flu? Bird flu?
No.
I feel like didn't you get swine flu?
I did.
Oh my God,
Maybe
did.
that was then.
Yeah, he did.
You're the one guy I know who actually got it.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was that was on the news.
Maybe that's when it was. I don't know. I was immobile. It was immobile for a long time, and I just remember we did our first like game trailers video right after that, and I was in it, and I had gained so much weight, and I looked fucking pale, and it was like the worst time in my life. And I remember we put that video out, and I was already self-conscious. And then people were like, this guy looks like he sweats gravy. And I was like, man, I should have just stayed in bed.
That sucks.
But during that time, I always crack up because during that time, I got back in touch with someone from school, like one of my old friends. Just coincidentally around that time, reached out to me through Facebook. Like I hadn't talked to her in a long time. And she's like, hey, we should hang out. Oh, yeah, cool. And then I remember getting swine flu. And I couldn't respond to their message for like a day. And then they like got mad at me and blocked me. And I was like, I told them I had swine flu, and they didn't believe. They thought that was like an excuse, and blocked me. And I was
well, you know what? Probably for the best.
Yeah, just imagine the wonderful relationship you missed out on there.
Shit.
You know, dang, the flu kills people. Swine flu kills people too. The fact that you like survived that is kind of crazy. I know somebody. There was kind of a flu epidemic last year, and I know somebody who's like 20 years old. Went to the hospital, almost died from the flu. Like, you don't think about it, but it kills people.
Yeah, you see that it kills people. And, you know, the worst I ever got it was I got the flu shot that day, which I think made things worse because I was already apparently had the flu without realizing it, and then I gave myself more flu. And so
that's what
so that was the day of the Christmas cast where I ate the baby food. Do you guys remember that at all? I was barfing at the Christmas cast, and I realized later it wasn't because of the baby food. It was because I was fucking sick. I was so sick. It was like I really did. Like at one point, I was barfing everywhere. I was shitting like crazy. I had a migraine. I was coughing. I thought like my body can't take anymore. Like this is as bad as it could possibly get. Like I'm going to die here. It was it was like 2 days of absolute misery. It's every half an hour I was throwing up on the dot. It was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, like 2 years ago, I think I got like Noro or something, and it was just a lot of throwing up. That was the sickest I've been in a long time. The worst is when you just want to sleep, but you're so sick you can't rest, and your whole life and existence in those moments is just illness and like discomfort. Yeah. It's the worst. Stay healthy, everybody.
Please stay healthy.
Go ahead, Meg. When are we the sickest?
It wasn't like... It's weird. It wasn't like a cold sickness, but when I was like 21, I got this thing called iritis, which I thought was pink eye.
Okay.
And so like my eyes got all messed up, and I couldn't go outside my house for like a month.
Whoa.
You couldn't go outside?
Yeah, because it was super light sensitive.
Oh.
But it's not contagious? It was like a...
No, it was
like a
just,
genetic thing?
It was... I don't know what caused it, but basically, like, I had to get a blood test, and they took like 4 vials of blood and they ran it through like a bunch of stuff like cancer, leukemia, like all these cancers that cause it. And so I was like, cool, I'm gonna die at like 21.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm dead. But it ended up like just going away, and I had to go to all these specialists, and yeah, like I was out of commission for at least
You
a
were
month.
inside your house. Could you look at TV?
Barely. I couldn't even play video games. It was
Oh, no.
crazy.
What the
So
nightmare?
don't ever get
Well-
iritis.
Well, I was gonna say when I was that sick, I didn't get up for like a month, but I could still play games. And during that time, it was I think Snake Eater had come out on 3DS, and I speed ran that shit. So I played through that game like 3 times because that was all I could get up
Holy
to get
shit.
it near me. So
Dude.
now I can beat that game in like 2.5 hours.
Saved your life.
So
Whoa.
it's
It
not
gave
like
you a reason to live and keep going.
so it's not like I didn't gain. It's not like I gained nothing from being that sick. Now I'm a pretty good speedrunner.
I think Solid Snake might be your spirit animal now, officially.
Maybe.
If you have like fever dream level swine flu and Snake Eater is what pulls you and navigates you through that illness, there's a bond there.
Maybe that game is that good. It healed me. I'll owe Kojima my life.
I think you may have
For a long time.
internalized something there. You went on like a shaman.
I did. It was like a spirit. Yeah, I played it. I was in a tent filled with steam the whole time,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Wow, I can beat this real
You know,
fast."
like on the X-Files, Mulder, he was always weird, but then he almost died, and like a Native American shaman like brought him back
Yeah.
to life after like 3 days in a coma, and from
Yeah.
that point on, he was like in touch with, you know,
Yeah.
the other side.